Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Easy English Spark channel. I'm so thrilled to have you here today. I hope you're all ready for an exciting adventure as we dive deep into the world of English listening and speaking skills. In this journey, we'll uncover new ways to improve your English fluency, build your confidence, and unlock the keys to speaking more naturally and confidently. So, let's open the door to a brighter, more fluent future together. Get comfortable and let's get started on this amazing journey. Chapter 1. The Awakening. I wake up in a place I don't recognize. My eyes slowly open, and the first thing I notice is how quiet it is. I can hear the faint rustling of what seems to be the wind outside, but there's no other sound. I feel disoriented, like I've just been dropped into this strange world with no warning. I blink a few times, trying to adjust to the dim light. I'm lying in a bed. The sheets are soft, and I can feel the coolness of the fabric against my skin. It feels comfortable, but somehow wrong. As I sit up, I take a deep breath, and the first thing I realize is that I don't know where I am. The room is large, more luxurious than anything I've ever seen. But there's something unsettling about it. It's too quiet, too still. The walls are painted in a light color, almost cream, with ornate molding running along the edges of the ceiling. There's an antique chair beside the bed, elegantly crafted, made of wood with intricate carvings. A beautiful table sits in the corner of the room, a small glass vase with what looks like fresh flowers on top. The furniture looks expensive, but there's a sense of emptiness in the air. I feel like I don't belong here, that I've stumbled into a place that wasn't meant for me. I swing my legs over the side of the bed and place my bare feet on the cool wooden floor. My body feels strange, like it's not fully mine. I'm wearing gray trousers and a matching shirt. Simple, but not my own choice. I look down and realize I'm not wearing shoes. There's a slight chill in the air, but I don't have any shoes to put on. My mind is racing, but there's no memory of how I got here or why. I turn to the window, hoping to get some sense of where I am. But when I look outside, I can see nothing but a vast green field stretching out, meeting the horizon. There's no sign of civilization, no cars, no houses, nothing that could help me place this place in the world. The sun is shining brightly on the field, but it doesn't make me feel any better. It only makes me feel more isolated, alone in a strange place. I take a few steps toward the window, trying to get a better view, but there's nothing more to see. No cars, no people, no road. Just this wide expanse of green grass, untouched and tranquil. I don't know why it feels wrong, but it does. I feel like I'm stuck in a moment where time doesn't matter, and I don't know what to do. I walk back to the center of the room, looking around again. my mind still trying to grasp the situation. I can hear faint music playing somewhere, the soft strains of classical music. It's Mozart, I realize. I'm not sure how I know that, but I recognize the melody in my bones. It's gentle and soothing, almost as if it's meant to calm me. But I can't shake the feeling that something is deeply wrong. I sit back down on the bed, my head starting to throb. It's a dull pain at first, but it quickly intensifies. The pain in my head grows stronger, and I clutch my forehead, trying to ease the pressure. Why is my head hurting like this? I try to remember what happened, but there's nothing there. Just emptiness. It's like my mind is a blank slate, and the more I try to recall, the more it slips away from me. I close my eyes for a moment, hoping the headache will subside, but it only worsens. I stand up again, my legs unsteady. I can't seem to find any relief, and the pain feels so intense that it almost makes me forget where I am. But I can't. I can't forget that I'm here, in this strange room, with no memory of how I arrived. Look around the room again, desperate for some answers, but I find none. The only thing in the room that could possibly help is a pen and some blank paper on the table. Why is there paper here? It feels out of place. I don't even know if I'm supposed to write anything, but the urge to do something, to take control of my situation, is overwhelming. I pick up the pen, but I don't know what to write. There's nothing in my head. The paper stays blank, just as my mind does. I set the pen back down, the weight of the situation pressing in on me. I don't know where I am. I don't know why I'm here. I don't even know who I am. The silence in the room is almost deafening now. There's nothing but the sound of my breathing and the distant music, but it doesn't feel comforting anymore. It feels more like a reminder that I'm alone here, completely alone, with no one to help me. The room feels colder now, and the emptiness grows larger, like it's swallowing me whole. I stand by the window again, hoping for a clue, hoping for something, but the field outside only mocks me with its stillness. I can't stay here like this. I can't just wait for something to happen. I need to get out. I need to understand what's going on. But then I stop. I hear something. A sound. It's faint, but it's there. A knock at the door. My heart skips a beat. Who could it be? Is it someone who can help me? Or is it someone who will just make things worse? I don't know what's going to happen next, but I know one thing. I can't stay here, not like this. I need answers, and I need them now. Chapter 2. The Man in Black. The knock at the door is soft, but insistent. My heart races in my chest as I stand frozen, uncertain of what to do. For a moment, I simply stare at the door, unsure if I should answer or hide. Who is it? Why are they here? These questions whirl around my mind, but no answers come. The only thing I know for certain is that I can't stay here much longer. Not like this. Lost, confused, and in pain. I take a deep breath and force myself to walk toward the door. Every step feels heavier than the last, the uncertainty in my chest growing with each passing moment. I reach the door and place my hand on the doorknob, but as I turn it, my body tenses. The door creaks open slowly, and I peer into the hallway. Beyond. The space outside the room is dimly lit, with just enough light to make out the faint outline of a figure standing at the far end of the corridor. At first, I can't make out much about him. He's dressed entirely in black, a black shirt, black trousers, and a black jacket that blends with the shadows. His face is partially obscured by the darkness, but his eyes are visible. They're cold, calculating, like a man who's seen too much and learned to keep his emotions locked away. There's something unsettling about him. He doesn't speak at first. He just stands there, watching me. His gaze is intense, and it makes me feel like I'm being weighed, measured, like he knows something I don't. I open my mouth, but no words come out. The silence between us stretches for a moment too long, thick and uncomfortable. Finally, he speaks, his voice low and calm. "How are you feeling?" he asks, his tone flat, almost clinical. I hesitate before responding, my throat dry. I don't even know how to answer that question. How am I feeling? Confused? Terrified? My head is still pounding, the pain sharp and relentless. I try to speak, but my voice catches in my throat. "It hurts," I manage to say, my voice barely above a whisper. My head. It's still hurting. The man steps forward, his movements precise, almost mechanical. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and pulls out a small glass. It glints in the light, and my eyes instinctively follow the movement. Without a word, he holds the glass out to me. I look at it for a moment, uncertain, but my thirst is overwhelming. I take the glass from him with trembling hands, grateful for the small gesture of kindness. I lift the glass to my lips and drink, the cool liquid slipping down my throat like a balm. The sensation is soothing, and for a brief moment, I almost forget where I am. I close my eyes, savoring the relief, but when I open them again, he's still standing there, watching me closely. "Thank you," I say, the words slipping out before I can stop them. I feel a strange sense of discomfort under his gaze, but I can't quite place why. He doesn't respond immediately. He just stands there, silently studying me. His presence feels suffocating, like he's waiting for something, waiting for me to reveal something about myself. I can feel his eyes on me, weighing me. It makes me uneasy. "How long have I been here?" I ask, finally breaking the silence. My voice is shaky, but it feels like I need to know. The man doesn't answer at first. Instead, he simply tilts his head slightly, as if considering the question. His eyes never leave mine. "You don't remember, do you?" he asks, his voice cold. It's not a question, but more of a statement. He already knows the answer. I shake my head, unable to meet his gaze. "No," I whisper. "I don't remember anything. I woke up in that room. I don't know how I got here. I don't know who I am." His eyes narrow slightly, but he says nothing in response. Instead, he steps closer, his boots clicking softly against the floor. The space between us feels charged now, heavy with an unspoken tension. I can feel my pulse quicken as he approaches. The fear I've been trying to push down rises again, creeping up my spine like ice. "What do you want from me?" I manage to ask, my voice barely above a whisper. The man in black doesn't answer right away. He looks down at me, his expression unreadable. His gaze flickers to the empty glass in my hand and then back to my eyes. He doesn't seem rushed. It's like he's in no hurry, like he has all the time in the world to watch me unravel. Then, at last, he speaks, his voice low and measured. "I don't need anything from you," he says. "But you need to remember." The words hang in the air like a threat, a challenge. My heart races again as I try to make sense of them. Remember what? What is it that I'm supposed to remember? He steps back, giving me a little space. "You were chosen," he says, his voice almost a whisper now. "But you'll need to remember everything. You can't go on like this." "Chosen?" I repeat, my voice trembling. I can't understand what he means. What does he mean by chosen? My mind is still clouded, my thoughts tangled in a web of confusion and pain. The man doesn't answer directly. Instead, he turns to leave. But just as he reaches the door, he pauses, his hand on the doorknob. "Don't try to run," he says, his voice soft but unmistakably firm. "You won't get far. There's nowhere to go." And with that, he walks out, closing the door behind him with a soft click. The room feels empty again, like a vacuum has settled over it. I stand there, frozen, trying to process everything he just said. Chosen. What does that mean? Why am I here? Why can't I remember anything? My heart is still pounding in my chest as I struggle to hold on to the fragments of thought that seem to slip away as soon as I try to grasp them. But one thing is clear. I have to remember. I don't know what the man wants from me, but I know that I can't stay in this place, trapped in the dark, unable to recall anything about my life or my past. I have to fight to get out, to find out who I really am. But how? How can I remember when everything is a blank? How do I even begin to unravel the mystery of my life? I stand there for a long time, my thoughts swirling, my head still aching. But deep down, I know that the answers are out there, somewhere. I just need to find them, and soon. Chapter 3. The Faint Glimmer of Memory. The silence in the room feels suffocating now, even more so than before. After the man in black left, a strange stillness settled over the space, like the house itself was holding its breath. I sit on the edge of the bed, staring at the door, my mind racing. I can feel the weight of his words pressing on me. You were chosen. What does that even mean? Chosen for what? And why can't I remember anything about myself? My head aches again, a dull, persistent throb that seems to follow me wherever I go. I try to ignore it, but it's hard to concentrate when my thoughts feel like they're slipping through my fingers like sand. The room around me is strangely quiet, save for the occasional creak of the floorboards and the distant hum of music. Mozart again. It's almost as if the music is trying to lull me into some kind of calm, but it isn't working. It only makes everything feel more surreal, like I'm floating in a dream I can't wake up from. I stand up slowly, my legs unsteady beneath me. The faint light coming from the window casts long shadows on the floor, stretching across the room, in eerie, twisted shapes. The bed behind me looks inviting, but I can't stay here. I can't just sit and wait for something to happen. I need answers. I need to know what's going on. And I need to start somewhere. The only thing I know for sure is that I can't stay in this room forever. I make my way to the door, my hand trembling as I reach for the doorknob. The faint click of the lock echoes in the quiet room, and I hesitate. Should I open the door? What if he's still out there watching? What if there's more to this place than I realize? But I can't just stay here, hidden away, pretending everything will go away. I need to find out who I am and why I'm here. I turn the knob and push the door open cautiously, stepping into the hallway. The air feels cooler out here, and I shiver. Slightly, but I force myself to keep moving. The hallway stretches on, dimly lit by the same soft light that filters through the window. Everything seems to be in its place, but there's something off about it, like it's all been arranged for me to find. A carefully constructed trap, but for what? As I walk, I keep my eyes on the ground, scanning the floor for anything that could give me a clue. I need something, anything that can help me piece together the puzzle of who I am. The walls are lined with portraits, some of them old and faded, others newer, but all with the same blank, emotionless expressions. They don't tell me anything. I feel like I'm being watched, but the only sounds are my footsteps and the faint hum of Mozart playing in the background. At the end of the hallway, there's a staircase leading down. I pause at the top, looking over the banister at the dimly lit floor below. My gut tells me to be careful, but I can't just stay up here forever. I need to explore. I need to understand. I take the first step, then another, my shoes echoing softly on the wooden steps. The deeper I go into the house, the more I feel like I'm walking into a trap. My breath quickens and my heart starts to race, but I can't stop now. I need to know. I need to find answers. At the bottom of the stairs, the hallway continues in both directions, but my attention is immediately drawn to a door at the far end of the corridor. It stands slightly ajar, and for a moment, I just stand there, staring at it. Something about it calls to me, a faint whisper in the back of my mind. It feels like the door is offering a clue, a hint of something important. I can't explain why, but I know that if I don't go through that door, I'll regret it. I walk toward it, my steps tentative but determined. The door creaks as I push it open, and I step into a room that feels different from the rest of the house. There's something heavier about the air in here, something dense and thick, as if the room is holding on to a memory. The walls are lined with shelves filled with books and various objects I don't recognize. But it's the table in the center of the room that catches my attention. It's simple, made of dark wood, but it's the papers on the table that draw me in. There are several sheets scattered across its surface, some blank, some filled with writing I can't make out. As I step closer, I realize that one of the papers has something written on it, something that feels familiar, like it belongs to me. I reach for it carefully, my fingers brushing against the paper as I unfold it. The handwriting is neat, but it's not my own. The words are in a language I don't recognize, the letters swirling in a way that feels foreign but strangely comforting. For a brief moment, my head throbs again, the pain sharp and sudden. I close my eyes, pressing my palm to my forehead, willing the pain to pass. When I open my eyes again, the paper seems clearer, as if the fog in my mind has lifted just a little. The words on the page shift slightly, and I can almost make out a few letters. Selena. My name. It's my name, I think. It feels right, but at the same time it feels wrong. How can I be so sure? What if I'm wrong? But the more I stare at the word, the more certain I become. Selena. I take a deep breath, the weight of the revelation settling over me like a cloak. Selena. that's my name. I finally remember. It's a small victory, but it's enough to keep me going. The pain in my head still lingers, but now I feel like I have a way forward. Selena. The name is a starting point, a faint glimmer of memory in a sea of darkness. I fold the paper carefully and slip it into my pocket, then turn back toward the door. The music still plays softly in the distance, but I no longer feel as lost. There's a path ahead of me, even if I can't yet see all of it. As I step back into the hallway, something shifts. The quiet hum of the house seems less oppressive now. The shadows don't feel as threatening. Maybe it's because I've finally grasped onto something. My name, my first real clue. Maybe now I can find the rest of the answers. Or at least, I can try. But as I stand there, a new thought creeps into my mind. If I was chosen, who chose me? And why can't I remember anything else? What am I really supposed to be remembering? The questions hang heavy in the air, but one thing is clear. The faint glimmer of memory has started to form into something more. I may not know all the answers yet, but for the first time since waking up in that room, I feel like I'm on the right track. I'm no longer just wandering aimlessly. I have a name, and that's a start. Now I just need to figure out who I am, why I'm here, and what comes next. But I know this. There's more to remember. And whatever comes next, I will face it. Because I'm not going to stop until I find all the answers. Chapter 4. The Mystery Deepens. The next few hours slip away in a haze, each moment stretching into the next. But the questions in my mind remain unyielding. My name, Selena, was supposed to be the key, the start of a path leading to the truth. But the more I uncover, the deeper the mystery seems to grow. I walk through the dim corridors of the house, each step echoing in the silence. It's as if the walls are closing in on me, pressing me further into uncertainty. My head, despite the brief moment of clarity earlier, still feels like a thick fog. I pause at a small window, looking out at the vast green field. The sight is almost peaceful, but it's hard to enjoy it. The house feels like a prison, its walls holding secrets I'm only beginning to scratch the surface of. I press my hand against the cool glass, wondering how long I've been here. How long I've been locked in this strange, confusing place. What happened before? And why can't I remember anything? The questions seem endless. With a deep breath, I turn away from the window. I need to keep moving. I need answers. I find myself back in the room where I first woke up. The one with the bed, the table, and the window overlooking the field. The room is the same as it was when I first arrived. Quiet, still, and empty, except for the faint traces of life that feel like remnants of a memory. There's something unsettling about it. I glance at the table again, the paper still in my pocket. I take it out, unfolding it slowly. The neat handwriting, the words that I can't fully understand. But the word Selena, that was me. That was my name. My connection to something real. But that's where it ends. What else is there? The light flickers overhead, and I notice a small detail that had escaped my attention before. In the corner of the room, just beside the window, a small chest sits on a shelf. The chest is old, made of dark wood with intricate carvings that seem to tell a story. It's almost as if it's waiting for me to open it, to see what's inside. My heart beats faster as I walk over to it. The chest is so small, but it feels heavy, its presence looming over the room. The carvings are strange, as if they're meant to be read, but there's no language I can recognize. The design doesn't match anything I've seen before. I reach out and run my fingers over the surface, feeling the intricate patterns, the coolness of the wood beneath my touch. Slowly, I lift the lid. It creaks softly, like the house itself is sighing. Inside, there's a small journal. It's worn, the leather cover soft and cracked with age. I feel a strange pull toward it, like I've seen it before, like it belongs to me, even though I have no memory of it. I open the journal carefully, the pages old and yellowed, but the handwriting inside is still legible. I skim through the first few pages, finding names I don't recognize, dates that mean nothing to me. But then I stop. There, on a page near the back, is a name that sends a chill down my spine. Liam. The name is written in bold, careful letters, and there's a small sketch next to it. It's a rough drawing, but it's enough to make my heart skip a beat. The man in the drawing looks familiar. His face, though unrefined, seems to be someone I know. The sketch isn't detailed, but the eyes are the same. It's the man I saw earlier, the one in black. The man who spoke to me, who seemed to know something I don't. My fingers tremble as I trace the lines of the drawing. The name Liam sticks with me. It feels like it's tied to something deep within me, but I don't know how or why. It doesn't make sense. I close the journal and put it back in the chest, my mind racing. Who is Liam? Why is he here? What does he have to do with me? And what does this journal mean? I have so many questions, but no answers. I can feel the weight of the mystery pressing on me, growing heavier with each passing minute. I place my hand on the chest, staring down at it as though expecting it to reveal more. But the chest remains silent, its secrets hidden beneath layers of time. I take a step back, my mind overwhelmed. There's no point in trying to force answers. Out of it right now. I need to focus. I need to understand who I am, why I'm here, and how this house, this place, connects to everything. Suddenly, a sound breaks the silence. A soft click from the door. My heart skips a beat, and I freeze. The door opens slowly, and standing in the doorway is the man in black, the one I now know as Liam. His eyes, dark and calculating, meet mine with an intensity that sends a shiver down my spine. There's no smile, no greeting, only that unwavering stare. For a moment we just stand there, locked in a silent battle of wills. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest as he steps further into the room, his footsteps heavy but deliberate. The door shuts softly behind him, and I instinctively take a step back. "What are you doing in here?" Liam's voice is low, but there's an edge to it. It's not a question, it's a command. I hesitate, searching for words, but my mind is too clouded. I was looking for something, I say, my voice betraying me, shaking slightly. "I found this." I hold up the journal, watching his reaction closely. Liam's eyes flicker to the journal, but his expression doesn't change. He steps closer, but he doesn't take it from my hand. Instead, he looks at me, his gaze sharp. "You shouldn't have opened it." "I had to know," I reply, my voice a little steadier now. "I had to understand." Liam nods slowly, as if considering my words. "You will understand more soon, but not yet. You're not ready." I want to ask him what that means, but the words don't come. It's as if something is holding me back, something inside me that knows asking more questions will only make things worse. So instead, I stay silent, my grip tightening on the journal. He looks at me for a long moment, his gaze unreadable, before he turns and walks toward the door. Just before he leaves, he glances over his shoulder, his eyes narrowing. "You're still confused," he says almost to himself. "But the answers are here. You just have to be willing to find them." With that, he leaves, and I'm once again left alone with my thoughts. The door clicks shut behind him, and I stand there, staring at the closed door. His words echo in my mind, but I can't shake the feeling that he knows more than he's letting on. What does he mean by "you're not ready"? And what answers does he think I need to find? The journal, the chest, the house, the music. It all feels like pieces of a larger puzzle, but I don't know how to put them together. I sit down again, the weight of the journal in my hands. The mystery deepens with each new discovery, each new encounter. And though I feel like I'm beginning to understand just a little, I know the truth is still far out of reach. There's more to this house, more to the man in black, and more to me than I can remember. But whatever it is, I will find it. The deeper I go, the more I understand. The answers are here, hidden in the shadows of this house, and I will uncover them, no matter the cost. The mystery has only just begun. Chapter 5. Uncovering the Truth. The hours seem to blend into one long, restless stretch. The house, despite its grand appearance, feels like a labyrinth, each corner cloaked in secrecy, each hallway echoing with the unanswered questions that swirl through my mind. I know that I'm not just here by chance, that there's more to this place than mere walls and rooms. But how much more? That is the question. I can feel the truth lying just beneath the surface, like an intricate tapestry woven with threads of mystery, and all I need to do is pull at the right one to unravel it. The journal sits heavy on my lap as I sit by the window, looking out at the same green field that seems to stretch endlessly. I'm still struggling with the fragments of memories that flicker like distant stars. There, then gone in an instant. But the name Liam, I can't shake it. He's a part of this, a key to something I've yet to understand. My thoughts are interrupted by a soft knock at the door. I hesitate for a moment before walking over to it. Opening the door reveals a woman I've never seen before. Her face is calm, but tense, as though she's trying to hide something beneath a veneer of politeness. She's tall, with sharp features, and dark eyes that seem to see right through me. "Selena, right?" she says, her voice measured, almost too careful. I nod, unsure of how to respond. "Yes, can I help you?" The woman doesn't answer right away. Instead, she glances over her shoulder, as though checking if anyone is watching. "I think we need to talk." Her words hang in the air for a moment before I step aside to let her in. She enters the room with a purpose, her gaze flicking briefly to the journal on the table before she turns to face me. "I'm Julia," she says, her tone a little softer now. "And I believe you've been looking for answers. You're starting to remember things." I don't say anything, just nod slightly. It's clear she knows more than I do, but it's also clear that she's holding back something. There's a hesitation in her voice, a guardedness that makes me wary. "You're not here by accident, Selena," Julia continues, her gaze never leaving mine. "And you don't belong here. Not in this house. Not in this life. There's something you need to understand." I feel a tight knot in my chest. "What do you mean? What am I supposed to understand?" Julia walks toward the window, looking out at the field for a moment before speaking again. "This house, these people, your past, it's all connected. But the truth, the real truth, is far more complicated than you know." I feel a chill run through me, and I take a step closer, my voice urgent. "What truth? Who are these people? And what does Liam have to do with all of this?" At the mention of Liam's name, Julia stiffens slightly, but she doesn't break eye contact. "Liam is not who he says he is," she says quietly. He's involved in things you wouldn't understand, things that are dangerous. And you, Selena, you're right in the middle of it. I can feel my heart race. What do you mean? What's going on here? Why can't I remember anything? Julia looks down at the floor, almost as though she's searching for the right words. You were part of something, an operation, something that was supposed to protect people from those who would abuse power. But there were mistakes, errors that have led to where you are now. She steps closer, lowering her voice even more. You were part of an underground network, a group that worked to expose certain individuals, to stop them from taking control. But something went wrong. You were supposed to disappear, and you did, but they didn't want you gone forever. They wanted you to remember. I can't process everything she's saying. The words come too fast, too much to absorb all at once. Wait, so I was part of some operation? Why don't I remember any of this? Why am I here? Who are they? And why is Liam involved? Julia's face tightens, and for a moment she looks pained. Liam wasn't supposed to be a part of this. He was an asset, someone we trusted. But somewhere along the way, he became something else, something more dangerous. I stare at her, struggling to make sense of her words. Dangerous? How? What did he do? Julia shakes her head slowly. I can't tell you everything right now, but Liam isn't just some stranger. He's been part of your past, and he's the one who can either help you remember or keep you trapped here forever. I feel a rising panic in my chest. Trapped? What do you mean? Is that what's happening to me? Why can't I leave? Julia steps back, running a hand through her hair. She seems unsure of how to proceed. You're not free, not yet. But you have a chance, Selena. If you remember who you really are, who you were before everything changed, you can stop this. You can escape this house, escape Liam, and the people he's working with. I look down at the journal in my hands, my mind racing. There's so much I still don't understand, but one thing is clear. Everything I've been told up until now has been a lie, and that includes my own memories. You have to get out of here, Selena, Julia continues, her voice growing more urgent. There's a way. You have to trust me. I'm here to help you, but time is running out. You need to remember who you are before Liam does something you can't undo. I can feel the weight of her words settle heavily on me. It's like I'm standing at the edge of something, the brink of discovery, and yet I can't quite see the full picture. But deep down, I know that I need to find the answers. I can't stay here, locked in this house with nothing but questions. With a deep breath, I nod. I'm ready. I want to know the truth. Julia looks relieved, though I can see the fear in her eyes. Good, because the truth will change everything. As she says the words, I can't shake the feeling that the journey ahead won't be easy. The truth might be more dangerous than I can imagine. But whatever it is, I know I have to face it. I have to confront the past that's been hidden from me for so long. Where do I start? I ask, my voice steady, but my mind in turmoil. Julia takes a step back, her face serious. Start with what you remember. Start with Liam. I take one last look at the journal in my hands. The weight of it feels different now, heavier, as if it holds not just answers, but a burden I may not be ready to carry. But I have no choice. I have to uncover the truth. The mystery is far from over. It's just beginning, and I'm determined to find the answers. Chapter 6. The Attempted Escape. The weight of the house presses down on me. Each floorboard groans under my feet as I walk through the narrow, dimly lit corridors. The air smells stale, as if it's been trapped here for years, unchallenged, waiting for someone to open the windows and let in the light. But there's no light, no escape. Only shadows, hiding the truth I've been desperately trying to uncover. After what Julia told me about Liam, about the operation, about everything, it's like a storm inside my mind. The memories, fractured and blurry, swirl around me like a chaotic mess. I don't know what to believe anymore. Was I really part of some operation to stop dangerous people? Was Liam really a friend, or was he always the enemy? What was my role in all of this? I can hear the faint hum of Mozart's music drifting through the house as though it's mocking me. Is it a signal? Is it a part of this twisted puzzle that I need to solve? Or is it just a reminder that no matter how hard I try, I'm still stuck in this place? I glance at the door leading outside. The field is still there, vast and green, but it seems so distant. Even though I can see it with my eyes, it feels like an illusion, like something I can never quite reach. I've been trying to leave this house for what feels like an eternity, but something always pulls me back in. The walls seem to close in every time I get close to the exit. But today, something feels different. There's a shift, a moment of clarity that cuts through the fog in my mind. I need to escape. I don't know why this moment feels like the one, but it does. Maybe it's the pressure building in my chest, the constant anxiety gnawing at me. Maybe it's the realization that if I don't act now, I might never get another chance. Whatever the reason, I know it's time. It's time to leave. I make my way quietly through the house, careful to avoid the creaking floorboards. The house is old, full of the kind of silence that seems to have a life of its own. Every room is a potential trap, every shadow a hiding place for someone. Someone who might be watching, waiting for me to slip up. As I reach the back door, I stop and listen. I can't hear anything, just the soft rustling of the wind outside and the distant sounds of the music still playing. I place my hand on the door handle, feeling its cool surface under my fingers. My heart pounds in my chest. I take a deep breath, then turn the handle. The door opens slowly, creaking ever so slightly as it moves. I step outside onto the cold, damp ground. The air is crisp, the smell of earth filling my nostrils as I step onto the grass. For a moment, I stand still, breathing in the fresh air, feeling the coolness of it against my skin. This is what I've been missing. The outside world, the freedom of open space. But I can't linger here. Not now. I move quickly, my feet pressing into the soft soil, the grass brushing against my legs. I have to get out of this place. The house is behind me, a looming shadow against the darkening sky. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I can't go back. But just as I begin to feel the thrill of escape, the sound of footsteps reaches my ears. The unmistakable sound of boots hitting the ground. My heart races. I turn around, and there he is, Liam. He's standing in the doorway, his dark eyes locked onto mine, a mixture of disbelief and something else, something darker, written across his face. "Selena," he says, his voice low and calm. "You think you can just leave?" I freeze. The fear that had been building in my chest is now a cold knot in my stomach. For a moment, I can't speak. I want to run, but my body refuses to obey. "You've been trying to leave all this time, haven't you?" Liam continues, stepping forward slowly, his eyes never leaving me. "But there's nowhere to go, Selena. Not anymore." His words sink in like a heavy weight. I want to scream, to shout at him, but the words won't come. Instead, I feel a rush of frustration build inside me. I want to ask him why. Why is he doing this to me? Why is he keeping me here? But I don't have the strength to ask. Not yet. "Why are you doing this, Liam?" I manage to say, my voice trembling. "What is this place? What is it that you're hiding?" Liam doesn't answer right away. He just stands there, watching me, his gaze unwavering. Finally, he steps closer, his voice soft and almost sympathetic. "I'm not the enemy, Selena," he says. "I never was. But you were part of something bigger, something you don't even understand. You can't leave. Not yet." His words send a cold shiver down my spine. Something about the way he says it, like he knows something I don't, makes me feel even more trapped. I don't know what he's talking about, but I know he's hiding something. He steps closer, his face now inches from mine. I try to back away, but he grabs my arm, holding me in place. I want to fight him, to push him away, but I can't. There's Something about the way he's looking at me. Something cold in his eyes that makes me freeze in place. You can't escape, Selena, Liam whispers, his voice almost gentle. Not yet. You're not ready. Before I can respond, he releases his grip and steps back, turning toward the door. But you will be. Soon. And when you are, you'll understand everything. You'll understand why you can't leave. He walks back into the house, leaving me standing in the cold night air, my heart pounding in my chest. I watch him disappear into the darkness, and for a moment, I think I might actually have a chance to escape. But then, I hear the unmistakable sound of footsteps again, closer. This time, someone else is coming. I turn and run, pushing myself harder, faster, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I can hear the person behind me now, their footsteps growing louder and louder, but I refuse to stop. I can't stop. I can't go back. I reach the edge of the field and see the road ahead. Freedom, just beyond my reach. But then I hear it. The sharp, cold click of a gun being cocked. My heart skips a beat. You're not going anywhere, a voice calls from behind me. It's Liam again, his voice calm, almost too calm. I stop, my body trembling with fear. I don't turn around. I can't. I know what will happen if I do. You're trapped, Selena, he continues. And you will stay here until you remember everything, until you understand your place in all of this. I stand still, every muscle in my body frozen. My heart races in my chest, and all I can think of is the one thing I need to do: escape. But no matter how fast I run, it seems there's no way out. No matter how hard I try, I can't escape this house, this life, this cage I've been trapped in, and for the first time I realize something. The truth is no longer a matter of if I escape. It's a matter of when. But right now, I know there's no way out. And no matter how much I fight, I'm not going anywhere. Not yet. Not until Liam is ready to let me go. Chapter 7. Hidden Secrets. The house looms behind me, its presence as heavy as a nightmare that refuses to release its grip. I stand at the edge of the property, the vast, unyielding field stretching out before me. The sky is overcast, the gray, clouds casting a somber shadow over the landscape. My heart is still racing, adrenaline coursing through my veins, but there's no time to pause, no time to reflect. The events of the past few hours, of Liam's cryptic words, the realization that I'm trapped in this house, are like a storm, constantly swirling in my mind. But beneath that storm, there's something else, a strange, nagging feeling. A feeling that something is about to break, that something buried deep within the house is ready to come to light. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it calling to me, a whisper in the back of my mind. And I know, with a terrifying certainty, that if I want to escape this place, if I want to understand my role in all of this, I need to uncover what's hidden here. I turn back toward the house, my steps slow and deliberate. I glance at the door, the same door I've tried to escape through countless times, only to be stopped by Liam. But this time, it feels different. The door stands ajar, inviting me back in, almost as if it's waiting for me. Taking a deep breath, I step inside, the familiar smell of dust and age filling the air. The hallway is eerily silent, the only sound the soft click of my shoes against the floor. The music has stopped, replaced by an unsettling stillness that seems to suffocate the very air around me. I hesitate for a moment, then move forward, determined to uncover whatever secret this house holds. As I make my way down the hallway, I'm drawn to a door at the far end. It's a room I've never been in before, and yet something about it seems familiar. The door is cracked open, just wide enough for me to slip through unnoticed. I reach out, my hand trembling as I push the door open further. The room inside is small, dimly lit by a single lamp in the corner. There's an old, worn desk against the wall, and on it, several pieces of paper are scattered about. My eyes are drawn to them, but I know I need to be cautious. Every step I take in this house feels like a mistake waiting to happen, but the need to uncover the truth is overwhelming. I step inside, my gaze fixed on the papers. There are notes, scribbled in a hurried, almost frantic hand. I walk over to the desk, my fingers brushing against the edges of the papers. One catches my eye. A piece of paper with a name written at the top. Liam Hawke. I freeze. My heart skips. A beat. This is Liam's handwriting. Why would his name be here, in this hidden room? And why does it feel like I'm about to uncover something that I wasn't meant to know? I pick up the paper, my breath shallow as I read the words. Selena's memories are fading. The operation was always meant to fail. She mustn't remember the truth. Not yet. The field. She was never meant to see the house. She's getting too close. The words seem to blur together as I try to process what I'm reading. What does this mean? What is Liam hiding? I need answers, and I need them now. I glance around the room, my eyes scanning the walls. There's a cabinet in the corner, its wooden surface cracked and faded with age. I walk over to it, my hands shaking as I pull open the doors. Inside, there are files, thick, well-organized folders filled with papers. I reach for one, my hands trembling as I pull it from the shelf. The folder is labeled Project Haze. My pulse quickens as I open it, flipping through the pages one by one. The contents of the folder are a mixture of photographs, notes, and diagrams. There are pictures of people I don't recognize, individuals standing in front of various buildings and locations. There's a diagram of a house, the one I've been trapped in. But there's something wrong with it. The diagram is marked with red circles, arrows pointing to areas within the house. It looks like a plan, a blueprint for something, far more sinister than just a home. I pause as my eyes fall on one particular photograph. It's an old picture, faded with time, but I can make out the faces of several people standing together. They're all smiling, posing for the camera, but there's one face that catches my attention, my own. I'm in the picture. My face is younger, more innocent, but it's me. And standing next to me, just behind my shoulder, is a man I recognize. All too well, Liam. The photo was taken years ago, a time I don't remember. But my heart aches as I stare at it. Why am I in this picture? How did I forget this moment? I slam the folder shut, my mind racing with questions. The pieces are starting to fit together, but they make no sense. Who am I in this photo? What is Project Haze? And why has Liam been hiding all of this from me? I need to find out more. Suddenly I hear footsteps approaching, the unmistakable sound of boots on the wooden floor. Panic floods my body as I stuff the folder back into the cabinet and slam the doors shut. I dart toward the door, my heart pounding in my chest. But before I can reach it, I hear the sound of a key turning in the lock. The door opens slowly, and there he is, Liam. He stands in the doorway, his expression unreadable. He's wearing his usual black clothes, the same calm demeanor he always wears. But there's something different in his eyes today, something darker. "Selena," he says, his voice steady but filled with an undertone of warning. I told you to stay in your room." I freeze. My body is tense, every muscle screaming at me to run, but I know it's no use. I'm trapped again. "You shouldn't have seen this," Liam continues, his voice softer now, almost sympathetic. "You weren't supposed to remember anything, Selena. You weren't meant to uncover the truth. But now that you have..." He takes a step toward me, and I take a step back, my mind racing. "What truth, Liam? What are you hiding from me?" He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he watches me with that same calculating gaze, as though he's measuring me up. Finally, after a long, tense silence, he speaks. "You don't understand yet," he says, his voice almost sad. "But you will. Soon enough. The secrets in this house are more dangerous than you think, and you're not ready for them. Not yet." His words hit me like a slap to the face. I can't process them. I want to scream, to demand answers, but I can't. The truth is out there. hidden somewhere in this house, and I'm getting closer to it. But every step I take, it feels like Liam is one step ahead. I can't escape the house, but the house is changing. With every secret I uncover, the walls feel like they're closing in on me even more. And yet, I can't stop. I can't stop searching for the truth, no matter how dangerous it is, because I know one thing for certain: the truth is my only way out. Chapter 8. Contacting help. The house feels colder now. The warmth of the past few days has dissipated, replaced by a chill that seems to crawl into my very bones. My heart beats unevenly, echoing in my chest as I walk slowly down the dark corridor. The dim light from the single lamp overhead casts long shadows along the walls, each step I take feeling like a step deeper into the unknown. I try to steady my breathing, the weight of the folder I found earlier still fresh in my hands. The photos, the notes, and the terrifying truth they suggest, they're all I can think about now. Project Haze, the plan, my involvement in all of it, Liam's role in the mystery, and the picture of me with him, smiling in some forgotten time. I'm no closer to understanding, but the nagging questions grow stronger with every step. I have to do something. I can't keep running in circles in this house, feeling like I'm being suffocated by the silence. I need answers. And for the first time since I woke up here, I feel a sense of urgency that can't be ignored. The house may be full of secrets, but there's something outside of it. Someone I can reach for help. It's been days, maybe even longer, since I've last seen anyone other than Liam. He's become a constant presence in my life here, a shadow that watches, waits, and never lets me escape. Every time I think I'm close to breaking free, whether it's through a window or a door, he's there, watching, stopping me. But not this time. I stand still for a moment, breathing in the stillness, and reach into my pocket. The key I took from the hidden room earlier burns against my skin. The key that unlocked some of the answers I sought, yet still left me in the dark. I slip it out, my fingers tracing its edges. It's a symbol of both freedom and confinement. In my hand, it feels like the weight of the world. I know where I need to go. At the far end of the hallway is a door I've never dared open. It's the only room I haven't explored yet, the only place left in the house that's a mystery to me. There's something in there that calls to me, something I've been avoiding but know deep down I need to find. My pulse quickens as I step toward it, my hand gripping the doorknob. With one swift motion, I twist the knob and push the door open. The room is small, but it has everything I need. At the far corner, there's an old telephone, yellowed with age, its cord coiled like a snake. The heavy wooden desk next to it is cluttered with papers. but my eyes are drawn to the phone. It's my only hope. I step toward it, feeling the weight of every step as I approach the desk. The silence in the room is suffocating, like the walls themselves are holding their breath. I glance at the clock on the wall. It's late. Far too late to make a rational decision, but I can't afford to wait. The house has turned on me, and it's time to take action. I take the receiver off the hook, the old wire crackling slightly as it comes free. The sound of the dial tone is almost surreal, a small relief in the midst of everything that has happened. For a brief moment, I hesitate. What if it's all for nothing? What if the call is lost in the void and I'm left here, stranded in this cold, forgotten place? But no, I can't think that way. I've already made it this far. I dial the number, the one I found in the folder, scribbled in Liam's handwriting. Brad Street 35972. The number rings, echoing through the empty room. My heart is pounding, my hand shaking as I hold the receiver. Each second that passes feels like an eternity. I wait. Then, finally, the line picks up. Hello? A voice answers. It's a man's voice, calm and collected. I don't recognize it, but something about the way he speaks feels familiar. The tone is sharp but patient, as though he's been waiting for this moment too. I need help, I say, my voice cracking with urgency. I'm trapped in a house. I don't know how long I've been here, but I need you to send someone. They're keeping me here. I don't know who to trust. There's a brief pause on the other end of the line, and then the man speaks again. Where are you? He asks, his voice now edged with concern. I don't know the address. It's an old house in the middle of nowhere, near a field. There's a locked door. A man. He's watching me. His name is Liam, and he's not what he seems. My words are coming out in a rush now, desperate. I can't stay here. Please, you have to help me. The man on the other end remains silent for a moment, as though processing what I've said. I can hear him shifting around, papers rustling faintly in the background. Then, his voice returns, this time more deliberate, more certain. I understand. Stay where you are. We're sending someone to help you. They'll be there soon. He pauses again, and I can hear the sharpness in his tone as he adds, don't speak to anyone. Don't trust anyone. They'll be coming for you next. The line goes dead before I can respond. I lower the receiver slowly, my hand trembling in the air. I don't know what I expected from that call, but it wasn't that. The man was calm, collected, but I can't help the feeling that I've just opened a door I might not be able to close. I hang up the phone, my breath shallow and quick. I have no idea who these people are, or how they'll be able to help me. But there's a small sliver of hope in my chest now. A chance. For the first time in what feels like forever, I'm not alone. The weight of my decision begins to settle in. I've made contact. But now, all I can do is wait. The uncertainty gnaws at my mind, but there's nothing more I can do. I have to trust that someone will come. Someone who can help me escape this place. I step away from the desk, my heart still pounding as I walk back into the hallway. I glance nervously over my shoulder, half expecting Liam to appear out of nowhere. But the house is still. Too still. I know that I've made a powerful choice. The next step is out of my hands, but that doesn't make the waiting any easier. Every creak of the house, every shadow in the corner of my eye, feels like a reminder that danger is still lurking. But now, I have a plan. And that's all that matters. I sit down on the old couch by the window, my fingers tapping restlessly against the armrest. I can't help but think about Liam. What does he want with me? Why is he so intent on keeping me here? What does Project Haze really mean? The minutes tick by slowly, each one dragging on as I sit in the silence of the room. But there's a strange kind of peace that settles over me. It's not the peace of certainty, no, but it's the peace of knowing that I've taken control of my fate for once, and that's enough for now. The knock at the door comes much later, just as I start to feel the weight of exhaustion creep back into my body. I jump up, my heart leaping into my throat. The sound of the knock is quick, sharp, and it sends a chill down my spine. I hurry to the door, my hands fumbling for the handle. This is it. Chapter 9. The Arrival of the Police. The knock at the door is loud, sharp, and decisive. It reverberates through the silence of the house like a thunderclap, shaking me to my core. My heart races as I freeze, standing still for a moment in the middle of the room. I look around in a panic, my eyes darting from the window to the door, trying to assess the situation. I don't know what to expect. Is this the moment I've been waiting for? Or is it something worse? Another trick? Another trap set for me by Liam? Or worse, by whoever is behind him? I swallow hard, trying to control the rising panic in my chest. My breathing is shallow, my palms are sweaty, and my mind races through a million possibilities. Should I open the door? Should I hide? Should I try to escape through the window? I hesitate for a split second, but then I hear it again. The knock. This time, more insistent. With a deep breath, I move toward the door, my legs feeling like they're made of lead. My hand reaches for the handle, and I pause. A single thought pulses through my mind. I have to know who's on the other side. I grip the handle tightly and turn it slowly. The door creaks open with a heavy sound, the noise hanging in the air like a warning. For a moment, I don't see anything. Just a sliver of the hallway, shrouded in darkness. But then, the door swings open fully, revealing two figures standing in the dimly lit corridor. My pulse quickens. One of the men is tall, with a stern, no-nonsense demeanor. He stands slightly in front of the other, blocking my view of the hallway beyond. His dark blue uniform gleams faintly in the light, and his posture is rigid, alert. The second man, shorter and broader, stands a few steps behind him. He looks more casual, but no less serious. He's holding a flashlight in one hand, its beam flickering slightly in the gloom. They both look at me expectantly. For a moment, I can't speak. I just stand there, frozen in place, trying to process what I'm seeing. Are these the people who've come to help me? Or are they part of the conspiracy, working for Liam and trying to trick me into thinking I'm safe? The taller man steps forward, his eyes scanning the room quickly before settling on me. He doesn't smile, but there's something reassuring in the way he holds himself. A calm authority. "You're Selena, aren't you?" he asks in a firm but measured tone. His voice is deep and professional, the kind of voice you expect to hear from someone in charge. A police officer. I nod quickly, not trusting myself to speak. I can feel the tension in my chest slowly begin to ease, but the unease still lingers in the pit of my stomach. What if they're not who they say they are? The man continues, his eyes narrowing slightly as he assesses me. "We've been trying to find you. You're in serious danger. Can we come inside?" I hesitate, but something about the way he speaks convinces me. He doesn't look like the kind of person who would play games. I step back and gesture for them to enter, my body still tense, my every instinct screaming at me to be cautious. They step inside, the taller man first, then the shorter one. The door clicks shut behind them, and I lock it, not sure why, but feeling like it's necessary. They turn to face me, and I can feel the weight of their eyes on me. The shorter man looks around the room, his gaze flicking over the furniture and the bare walls. It's clear that this place hasn't been lived in for a while, and something about its emptiness unnerves me. The longer I stay in it, the more oppressive it feels. "We know you've been kept here against your will," the taller man says, his voice softening just a little, as if he's trying to make me feel at ease. "But you're safe now. You don't need to worry. We've got things under control." The words "safe" now echo in my mind, but they don't feel real. Nothing here feels safe. How can I trust them? How can I know they're really here to help? And where is Liam? Where has he gone? "Where's Liam?" I ask suddenly, the question bursting out of me before I can stop it. "Where is he?" The two men exchange a brief glance. The taller one sighs, clearly bracing for what he's about to say. Liam's not a part of this anymore, he says. We've been tracking him for weeks. We're going to make sure he doesn't hurt you again. He's in custody now. You're not in any danger anymore. I feel a small wave of relief wash over me. But it's fleeting as doubts creep back into my mind. How do I know they're telling the truth? How do I know this isn't just another layer to the web of lies I've been trapped in? Who are you? I ask, my voice trembling slightly as I try to hold on to my composure. And what do you want from me? The taller officer steps forward, his expression serious but not unkind. My name is Detective Barnes. This is Officer McLeod. We're from the local police department. We've been investigating what's been going on here, and we believe you're at the center of something much bigger than we initially realized. Can feel my pulse racing again. The truth is starting to sink in. Everything is connected. The mysterious house, Liam. The strange notes I found. It's all part of some larger, more complicated scheme. And I'm stuck in the middle of it. What do you mean? I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. What do you mean bigger? Barnes looks at me carefully, as though weighing how much to say. His brow furrows, and I can see the hesitation in his eyes. But then, he seems to make up his mind. We've been investigating a series of high-profile disappearances. People connected to a number of unsolved cases. People like you who have been kept in isolation, subjected to, well, experiments. He pauses, his voice thick with what I can only describe as disgust. The people behind all of this have been working in the shadows for years, and they're far more dangerous than we first thought. I can't breathe. I can't process the words fast enough. What kind of experiments? I ask, my throat closing up. What have they done to me? Barnes doesn't answer immediately, his eyes searching mine as though he's unsure of how much I can handle. I can see the weight of his words in the way his shoulders sag, as if the truth is too much even for him. Right now, the most important thing is that you're out of their reach, he says gently. We'll make sure you're safe. You won't be alone anymore. I feel a strange mix of emotions, relief, anger, fear, flooding through me. The weight of everything that's happened is starting to hit me, and I struggle to hold myself together. The last few weeks, or however long it's been, have been a blur of confusion and terror. And now, it's all starting to unravel. I need to know everything, I say, my voice steadier now. I need to understand what's going on. Barnes nods. We'll explain everything, but for now we need to get you out of here. We've got a safe house set up, and we need to move you there as quickly as possible. I nod, the reality of the situation sinking in. It's not over, not yet, but this is my chance. my chance to break free, to get away from the nightmare I've been living in. The officers move quickly, their movements efficient. They prepare me for the next step, making sure I have everything I need. As I walk with them down the hallway, I glance back at the room, at the place that has held me captive for so long. I'm finally leaving it behind, but I know one thing for sure. This is far from over. Chapter 10. The Final Revelation. The ride to the safe house is long, the car's tires humming against the cracked pavement as we drive through the dark streets. The night is thick with fog, and the streetlights flicker as we pass them, casting long, eerie shadows. I sit in the back seat, trying to process everything that's happened. The police officers, Detective Barnes and Officer McLeod, are up front, talking in hushed tones, their voices barely audible over the sound of the engine. As the city fades behind us, I can't help but feel a small sense of relief. The threat of Liam, the fear of being trapped in that house, has finally been lifted. But even as I feel the weight of that fear ease off my shoulders, a new kind of dread settles in. What am I really getting into? What's the real truth behind all of this? I keep thinking back to what Barnes said, the experiments, the missing people, and the group behind it all. The more I try to push the thoughts away, the stronger they come. There are so many pieces to this puzzle, and I've barely scratched the surface. I can feel the silence in the car thickening, pressing down on me like the fog outside. My hands are trembling slightly, but I force myself to steady them. I need to be strong now. I need to know what's going on, what's really happening. The car turns sharply, and the gravel crunches under the tires as we pull into a secluded driveway. The tall gates open slowly, and I get my first glimpse of the safe house. A large old house set back from the road, hidden behind a curtain of overgrown trees. The house is quiet, its windows dark, and its silhouette blends with the night. It feels like an abandoned place, almost as though it's been forgotten by time itself. Detective Barnes steps out of the car first, followed by Officer McLeod, and I quickly follow them, my feet heavy as I step onto the gravel path. They lead me to the front door, and I notice that the house is more like a fortress than a home. High stone walls surround the property, and there's an air of secrecy about it that makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. "We've been waiting for you," Barnes says, his voice steady as he opens the door for me. The house is dimly lit, the air cool and musty. It smells faintly of old books and wood polish. I step inside, glancing around nervously. There's something unsettling about the place. It feels too quiet, too still, like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Is this really safe? I ask, my voice betraying my unease. Barnes nods, his expression serious. It's as safe as we can make it. We've got people watching the perimeter, and no one knows you're here. I nod, trying to steady my nerves. I want to believe him, but there's a part of me that keeps questioning everything. I've been lied to before, kept in the dark. How do I know I can trust these people? How do I know I'm not just stepping from one trap into another? Before I can ask more questions, McLeod gestures for me to follow them. We have a room for you upstairs. It's secure. You can rest, and we'll start the debriefing in the morning. I follow them up the staircase, the wooden steps creaking beneath our weight. The house is grand, with high ceilings and long hallways, but it feels like it's been left to decay over the years. The walls are lined with old paintings, most of them covered in dust. The air smells stale, and there's a sense of abandonment that makes it difficult to relax. At the top of the stairs, McLeod opens a door and gestures for me to enter. The room is simple, yet somehow comforting. There's a large bed with white sheets, a small desk in the corner, and a window that looks out over the property. The light from the moon spills through the curtains, casting everything in a soft, silvery glow. This is where you'll stay for the night, McLeod says, stepping aside to let me enter. We'll check in on you regularly. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call. I nod, stepping into the room and closing the door behind me. The sound of the door clicking shut is almost deafening in the silence. I stand there for a moment, just breathing, trying to calm the racing thoughts in my head. I walk over to the window and pull back the curtain slightly, looking out over the dark garden. The shadows seem to stretch endlessly, and I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. Suddenly, a loud knock at the door makes me jump. My heart leaps in my chest as I turn toward it. Selena, it's Detective Barnes, a voice calls out from the other side. We need to talk. I take a deep breath, pushing down the panic rising in my throat. I move toward the door and open it slowly. Barnes is standing there, his face more serious than ever. We've got some new information, he says, his voice low and urgent. We need to talk. I follow him down the hallway, my pulse quickening. He leads me to a small room near the back of the house. Inside, there's a table with papers scattered across it, and the atmosphere is thick with tension. Barnes doesn't waste any time. We've been piecing things together, he says, pulling a chair out for me. And we're getting closer to understanding what's really been happening. The group that's been behind all of this. They're bigger than we thought. And it's not just about you, Selena. You're part of something much larger. I sit down, trying to absorb his words. My mind is racing, my heart pounding in my chest. What do you mean, bigger? Barnes looks at me, his eyes hardening with the weight of what he's about to say. This goes back years. There's a network of people involved. Powerful people. They've been working in the shadows, pulling the strings behind these disappearances, behind the experiments. And you... He pauses, his voice steady but grim. You're more important than you know. You were targeted for a reason. I can feel the blood drain from my face. What reason? I whisper, my throat dry. Barnes doesn't answer immediately. He picks up a file from the table and flips it open. The group that's been controlling all of this, they've been using people like you. They've been conducting experiments, trying to manipulate memories to create, well, something like you. I feel my stomach churn as he continues. You were part of something they were experimenting with. A new type of control. They've been erasing people's memories, creating blank slates and then implanting new ones. You've been one of their test subjects, but you're different, Selena. You fought back. My mind is spinning. It's too much to process. I try to speak, but my voice catches in my throat. So, all of this? It's been some kind of experiment? A test? Barnes nods slowly. Yes. And you were supposed to be just another casualty in their plan, but you survived. You escaped. I feel a mixture of shock and confusion. My entire life, everything I thought I knew, has been a lie. And the worst part is, I don't even know who I am anymore. What happened to me? Why was I targeted? What does this mean for my future? Barnes steps closer, his expression softening. I know this is a lot to take in, Selena, but we're going to help you uncover the truth. We'll find out who did this to you, and we'll make sure they can't do it to anyone else. I nod slowly, my head spinning. I want to believe him. I want to trust that this is the truth, that I'm finally getting the answers I've been searching for. But the road ahead is long, and I don't know if I'm ready for what's to come. I'm here for you, Barnes says quietly. We're going to bring them down. The words echo in my mind as I sit there, staring at the papers on the table. I'm part of something bigger, something far more dangerous than I ever imagined. And I can't escape it. Not yet. The final revelation is just beginning. Great work today. Every moment you spend practicing brings you closer to mastering your English listening and speaking skills. Remember, progress comes with patience and consistency. If this story inspired you or helped you in your learning journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Easy English Spark channel for more lessons and stories. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in your growth. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and keep shining.